As everybody knows who's gone to the grocery store or to put gas in their tank, prices are soaring everywhere and wages just aren't keeping up. And so to counter that 40-year high in inflation, the Fed has been trying to raise rates. So by raising interest rates, the Fed is hoping to make borrowing costs higher to get people to maybe think twice about buying something. Back in March, we reached a 40-year high. In April, it came down a little bit, but there was an alarming consumer inflation report that showed that inflation started to accelerate again, and we reached a new 40-year high. And so that made people think that the Fed's going to have to walk this very, very tightrope because they have to raise rates to cool demand, and maybe inflation will cool off. So when the Fed raises its benchmark interest rate, which is it's a short-term interest rate called the Fed funds rate, it doesn't affect everybody's interest rates right away, but it has a ripple effect through the market. And basically, the rates will tend to go in the same direction and rise with the Fed's increases. Americans should be prepared to see that their interest rates on their credit cards are going to start to rise. If you haven't already bought a house and locked in a low mortgage rate, your house hunt is going to cost a little more because the interest rates will be up. But I would recommend to Americans to start organizing their debt and looking at paying off the high interest rate debt if they can, as much as they can, because that's only going to go higher. With inflation being so very high, I think people are expecting probably a rate hike whenever the Fed meets at every one of its monthly meetings throughout the rest of the year. So the bigger question is just how high, how much each time they meet. Will they raise rates? Some people are thinking that the Fed might be able to ease off a little bit later this year as inflation comes down. And other people think that the Fed is going to have to really work very hard with gas prices soaring, food prices soaring so quickly.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out these other videos from USA Today to stay up to date with all the latest news.